Right?
So my name is Ellie. I am from Brunei. Now it's been a little bit over a month, yeah. So what brought me here? I got a job here. So I'm working and living here. What I love about Korea is like how convenient is everything is so convenient as
Yeah.
long as you have money. But it is so different from back home. Everybody practically have to drive, but here everything is within a few steps away, you know? So I really like that. But one thing that I didn't enjoy so much is how freely people smoke on the streets.
Right.
Back at home, we are pretty strict with that. But I love how safe it is though. So last night I was walking home alone past midnight. Though the streets were quiet, like I didn't feel unsafe, you know? But in terms of language barrier, maybe not so much because I can speak the language before I came. So that was not a very big issue for me.
Right.
But I do have a lot of friends that find it very difficult. I know that they struggle a lot, so I try to help as much as I can. But in terms of like transportation and like to navigate day to day basis, as long as you have the right app, you're good to go.
Right.
Like you just need to know what resources you need, and you'll be able to like navigate like with no problem. That
How do you find the right apps?
I ask around. That is the most convenient option because I don't have to go onto Naver and like search and then read all of the things in Korean. I'm glad that I have friends around me that are very helpful, so they will always give me like really good information as well. So I am very thankful for that. In terms of support group, how I found this group was through Facebook. But I wish we had more support group like this. So like it's easier for me to meet local friends as well. Because foreigner friends are good, but they don't stay. They come and go, come and go. I am looking for it in the long term because I'm planning to stay in Korea for like a long time if I can. So I would prefer to have like a support group or like a that will stay. One thing that I would wanna tell the foreigners, international people that's planning to come to Korea is learn the language. That will make your life so much easier. Honestly, Koreans here, like even though you speak not good Korean, but if you try, they'll be like, 한국말 너무 잘하세요. You know, they're so nice if you can speak Korean. Even though it's not perfect, they are so happy to see people to learn their language. In terms of support group, it'll be great if we can actually do some charity together, do something good together, dog shelter or like for homeless people or whatever. When we do something meaningful like that together, I think that will actually strengthen the bond between the people as well. And at the same time, it's like a win-win situation. We kind of build our community and we do good back to the community as well.
So, my name is Lakshmi. I'm from Canada. I've been here so far for 6 months. What I love most about Korea is the safety. It's very, very safe in Korea. The big culture difference was the work culture, specifically the work-life balance. I find here in Korea, work is probably 80% and there's only 20% left for the other stuff. Biggest challenge in terms of navigating Korea would be the bank. I think that's the number one challenge, trying to get a Visa card, for example. I needed the help of my Korean co-teacher. That was a challenge. Shopping is not bad because stores like Lotte and Daiso have the option of English. Very easy to access your daily necessities. I think because I am an extrovert, I was able to navigate Kakao and find the open groups. That was, I think, my lifesaver in terms of finding other people to connect with, other foreigners, and your group, Gwanggyo Global Neighbors. Open chat, yeah. That's how I found your group. Also Facebook, but I find the Kakao talks were a lot more active. The meetups were a lot more consistent. I think more signs in English would definitely be helpful so we can be more independent. Personally, I think the biggest challenge for me was banking. I think that Korea should have one English-speaking person in each bank. that would make a world of a difference. Korea is a great place to be. One thing that I love about Korea was the safety. There's no place like here for safety.
My name is Andrea Kim. I've been in Korea for a little over 12 years now. I really enjoy the life here. When I came here first time, 12 years ago, I visited my back then boyfriend. I remember entering my mother-in-law's house and there was no table. There's just a children's table, like with very short legs. It's like, so where do the adults sit? Where are the chairs and table? And that was one thing that really took me by surprise, which now is the most normal thing. Obviously, you sit on the floor and it's very comfortable to sit on the floor and very convenient. But back then, I really thought they only have a kids' table and I was looking for the adult table. That was one of my very first, I would say, culture shocks. What I love most about Korea, it changes. You know, I came without kids as a student. Oh my God, when you're young, Korean life is amazing. It's vibrant, everything's open, everything's convenient. It does change with kids, like the work-life balance is not as good maybe as in other countries. But then, for example, here, child education for early age, like if I talk about kindergarten, school, is also very convenient, very good. The teachers kind of serve the moms, I would say. In Germany, it's the other way around. Like my brother calls me every other day, oh, our kindergarten is closed because the teacher is sick. I'm like, why? So yeah, the kid has to stay home for 2 weeks. I'm like, how are you going to work? These kind of problems. I'd say for early education, also, it's kind of very convenient. So I really enjoy the convenience and the speed at which things move. I really enjoy this part of Korean life. It's just fast, convenient, modern, like, you know, open to technology. There's no like this one outstanding memory, but, you know, I was really close to my mother-in-law. My first time I came to visit, she took me to the jjimjilbang, to the sauna. And she had this scrub. And she talked to me and I didn't understand. And then she just turned me around and she scrubbed my back. I was dying. Oh my God, is this normal? Like, what is this woman doing? And I was like, do I have to do her back after she's done? I was really, so what do I do after she's done? Do I take the scrub and do her back? But she was just, after she was done, she just, no, you go, it's done. I think that's one of the funniest memories I have. The biggest challenge always is language. There's a lot of frustration coming and misunderstandings because of not knowing the language. But I always made an effort to study the language. I really struggled with my first daughter when she was born, because at that time, the hospital didn't speak English. The doctors just kind of told me, give it to your daughter. It's good for her, when I got medication. And when I asked, so what's wrong? Oh, she's sick. This is good for her. This will make her feel better. And I was like, but what is it? Like, what is? So I got so frustrated. But again, it was not kind of the people unwillingness. It was just, I didn't speak enough Korean. And this kind of pushed me again to study more Korean. I would say everything can be solved if you speak the language. And with the language comes an understanding for the culture. And there are foreigners who are open to other cultures, and there are foreigners who just like it the way they had it in their home country. So I've had friends from both sides. And I would say anyone who just wants Koreans to change and tell them, oh, look, Germany's doing like this. This is amazing. You should really do like this. These type of people, they're not, on a long term, are not happy in Korea, because they always want to change whole Korea. They really think this is the better way. We should do it like this. And, you know, you can't win this battle. This is Korea. Of course, there are some changes, but you will never like convince from your point of view everyone to just change the way this, your opinion, great German way of doing things. So I think the people who just accept that this is how Koreans do it. And then for me, I like, oh, this is how it's done in Korea. And then I accept it. Or I don't. But if I don't accept it, I don't want everyone else to change. I just decide for myself, nah, I'm not going to do that. But I just accept that everyone else just thinks it's a good idea. I tell them my opinion, but once, and then if they're like, no, we do it, I'm like, okay, you know, I think this is a way for me to have a good life. What I struggled when I wanted to find a job, where do foreigners like me find a job? What is a good like resource for job finding? There's like student job fairs, international student job fairs, but there's not yet foreign companies. So there's job fairs, foreign companies targeting Koreans who want to work for foreign companies, but there's not so much like, where do people like foreign talents who like maybe did a degree in Korea, have some basic understanding of Korea, but maybe also bring a cultural background from their country and language. How do they find a job? Where can they look for jobs? I think job hunting is one of the toughest things for foreigners because there's not many jobs. And then when it comes to children, school, how does it work? Signing up for school, like I struggled. The school gave me like this thick of paper to read through, and I almost missed signing up for the after school program. So all the documents are just in Korean. For me and for other foreigners, it's really hard. I think the one thing Korea really, really, really needs to change, foreign families not getting any support at all. They need to fully pay for their kindergarten. So for example, my kids don't need to pay because, they're considered Korean. But I have a friend from Uzbekistan and they have 3 children. Her husband has been working in Korea for over 10 years. They get zero support for kindergarten. They need to pay the full price. What happens is the kids stay home until school. So their Korean skills are, of course, very limited because they do not go to kindergarten, because they stay home until they go to first grade of school. And, I see it in Germany, in other countries. Language is the key to integration. And if you don't teach those children language very early, they're always going to be outsiders. They're never going to feel part of this society, even though they grew up. So I think this is something that I recommend.
My Korean name is Suwon and my English name is Lori. I've been to Korea around 3 months ago. The thing I love most about Korea is the weather here, especially the autumn. Is really nice. The culture difference, the Chuseok. The Chuseok means a lot to the Korean family. It's really similar to Chinese Spring Festival. My favorite memory, I was invited to hang out with the people in the church in Suwon. It's an international group, so all of the people speak English. Sometimes I found it hard to talk to people here because most of my coworkers, they are Korean, so it's hard for me to find people to talk. We went to the Suwon Fortress and we experienced eating the really traditional Korean fried chicken. The biggest challenge I face in Korea, that must be the language. If the people here, they are asking more questions and I'm gonna be struggling. I don't know what I can say. I apps here, Coco Talk. There's no translation function. Also, the public safety alert is also in Korean. Something I wish I know before go to Korea. The expensive fresh food, the vegetables and the fruit, they're also expensive. There are some, but mostly I ask my Korean coworkers. They will give me the best help. The thing I don't understand is that sometimes if a professor, he's staying late, everyone's staying late. Nobody, someone have already finished their job, they want to go home, they're just waiting for the professor to finish his work. I found it really hard to make friends. It's really hard for me. And people I can find are much older than me. We don't have that a lot of topics that we can talk about. The service, the places I found quite helpful is the local church. Even though I'm not religious, I'm not Christian, but the church, they accept me. They provide free Korean class, and my Korean teacher, she's really nice. I think if there would be support for the culture, for the social norm, the orientation would be more helpful. Sometimes I want to go to some really authentic old Korean restaurant. I'm afraid I don't speak the language. It's like a gap of the information between the local and learners. I think if the local community can share more to international people, it will be more helpful for their life. The people here are really nice. How I deal with the challenges I face here, mostly asking my Korean coworkers. Yeah, they are my best help. Sometimes when I go to the bank, I know it will be really struggling for me because the people in the bank, they may be struggling speaking English, so I usually would take my Korean friends with me to go to the bank. When it comes to finding an apartment, I ask my Korean co-workers their help to negotiate, talk to the agent. One thing I would change, if I can change to make life easier for the internationals, it would be the function of translation in apps. There's a chatting app in China called WeChat, and there is a translation that is quite helpful. So if I could contribute to a local community, I think I would just share the information that I know that most foreigners, they don't know to the community. And I also want to make friends there, and I want to build a really warm form of friend circle and help people share about our life and struggling here.